Hey guys, I saw the new preseason items and a certain item really caught my attention. Crown of the Shattered Queen. This item seems insane on long-range control mages, notably having a 54% win rate on LUX on u.gg. So in this video we're going to talk about this emerging build and see what it is and how to play it effectively. For raw stats, Crown gives you a respectable amount of ability power, mana, and ability haste like most other mage mythics, but it also gives you a bit of health to make you a bit tankier. The most iconic part of the item is the Safeguard passive though. The Safeguard passive gives you a one-time anti-burst shield, so whenever you're damaged by an enemy champion it activates and gives you 75% damage reduction for 1.5 seconds, basically making you unkillable for 1.5 seconds. Whenever you have the shield and it's not broken, you gain ability power, 10 to 40 scaling on your level, and whenever you are damaged, you keep that ability power for 3 seconds. While reading the item, you can clearly see what it's supposed to do. It's an anti-burst item that helps you stay alive when you're dove on in the middle of a team fight. It rewards you for good positioning in the team fight by giving you ability power while you still have the shield, and it prevents you from dying to a Zed dive or a Rengar dive. And if you play correctly, you can allow your team to capitalize on those players making those mistakes. But why LUX and not other champions? Well, the shield active on the item has a high chance of getting poked and neutralized before a fight starts if you're playing anyone with short range, so it tends towards mages with long range abilities and that can fight from afar. These mages tend to be referred to as artillery mages, and only a few characters fall into this category: Xerath, Ziggs, Vel'Koz, and LUX. And of all these characters, LUX is currently the strongest and provides great utility and supportive tools to her team, but doesn't really sacrifice her damage at all to gain those. Let's move on to runes then. Runes don't matter too much, but here's the page I run. I like to think that keystones are just a preference with this build. Comet, Dark Harvest, Electrocute, and all other runes are good. Most of the time, you want to choose runes that aren't keystones and then build your page around it. Some of them are really good with LUX. Stopwatch, Ultimate Hunter, Mana Flow Ban, and Revitalize are all great runes for LUX, but they're in different trees, so you have to prioritize what's good each game and adapt your rune page accordingly. A rune you might not think about a lot is Absolute Focus. It gives you AP when you're above 70% health, which synergizes with Crown a lot, and because of this, I tend to run Sorcery Tree no matter what. For summoners, I go Flash Barrier, sometimes Flash Teleport. Barrier is a great defensive tool, but sometimes you want to go Teleport to help survive lanes that you feel uncomfortable in. The first two items I go every game are Crown into Zhonya's. The rest of the build is preference. Between Crown, Zhonya's, and Barrier, you should be able to survive a lot, and during teamfights you should stay near the back of the team and near someone who can peel for you when you get dove. So let's talk about strategy now. You should try to gather leads with your long-range poke in lane if possible, but if not possible, you just need to put the wave in a good spot so that you can assist your jungler whenever he goes for a neutral objective. LUX does this very well because she has great long-range wave clear that is very safe. So you can push out the creeps into the opponent's turret and they have to choose between CSing or following you to a roam. Generally, either or is good for you as long as you adapt to what happens. After you get your ultimate ability, you should identify someone on your team that has CC that you can follow up on. For example, if you have a Leona support, next time you roam, you should roam to them and try and use your ultimate as they stun someone because it makes it almost impossible to miss. If you're running Ultimate Hunter, your ultimate is going to have a very low cooldown, about 35 seconds, so it can become a good idea to use your ultimate on the wave to clear it quickly and safely for instant mid priority. But you shouldn't do it whenever an objective is about to spawn like Dragon, because generally there's team fights around them, and if you don't have your ultimate for those team fights, it can put your team at a massive disadvantage. So you can clear waves with your ultimate, just be careful when you do it and make sure to time it around objectives. One last thing to note is you should almost never side lane. The only time you should be in a side lane is if you are clearing 1 or 2 waves off of a turret using your E and ultimate before walking to mid lane. You need to live, breathe, and exist off mid lane the entire time during this game. You're not a duelist, side lanes are not where you belong as LUX. Thanks for watching my video, guys. If you liked it, please give me feedback in the comments. I'm trying to get more traction on my channel, and if you think you know a way I can improve, it really helps me. Thanks.